Today is day 8, and I didn't make a video yesterday of day 7 because not a whole lot happened, but so I'll quickly recap that. Um, Annie had school again, but I wasn't going to go because she didn't have her English lesson, and she said her classes would be pretty boring, so I just kind of stayed around at home, but she said her first class started at 10. I woke up at 10 and he was still here. And it turned out she had like slept through and missed the bus to get to school. So she kept on trying to like convince us that this class was optional, and but it really wasn't. I talked with some of her friends, which was kind of funny. But so then I ended up just hanging out here at their house, and I ended up walking their dog Lexi, which is a guy, which is a male dog, but named it Lexi anyways. And talking with her dad quite a bit, just about differences between US and here, and kind of talked about like cell phones because that's what he does for work, and how services are run over here compared to the US, and then also about rules for like use of forestry and hunting and whatnot. Um, and then, but then we were sitting down and having lunch, or I was with her family, and then Annie kept on messaging me, like telling me she was done with her classes and she wanted to meet up for fika, which is a very Swedish thing to do. It's kind of like tea time without necessarily having to have tea. You just go and meet your friends or your family and have coffee or a little small bite to eat or something like that. And she's like, oh, but you need to like get on this bus that's like leaving in like 20 minutes, but it takes like 30 minutes to walk down to the bus stop. So I like quickly got my stuff and like ran out the door, and on my way running there, I actually slipped and like covered myself with mud, but it wasn't that bad. And then I met up with Annie and Emma for fika, but I actually got to the bus stop that Annie told me to get off at, but she told me to like meet her at her school. So, and the bus stop isn't right by her school, like you have to walk a few blocks. So I started walking towards the school, and apparently the entire time her and Emma were like trying to chase me down because they meant for me to just like meet them at the bus stop. But uh, we eventually found each other, and then we had fika, and we just walked around town for a little bit before coming back home, and that was about it for the night. And then, but today, again, Annie had school, so I just kind of woke up here and we're taking down all the Christmas stuff here and doing that. And then I ended up playing chess with Niels this morning, Annie's little brother. And the first game, he like beat me in like 2 minutes. It was super fast. And when he said checkmate, I was like, what? I was like, there's no way. But I was, and it was ridiculous. But I beat him the next game, so it took a bit longer. But then now I just did laundry, as you can see on my bed. And oh yeah, this is what was Annie's room, but she like gave it to me to use. I insisted like that she not give her up her room for me to use, but she was like, no. She wouldn't let me not have her room. So yeah, this is where I'm sleeping and staying. That's nice. And but right now I'll leave here in about half an hour to go to meet up with Annie and her friends and from school, because they're going bowling to kind of like celebrate, because they just finished this giant project that they had to do for their economics class, or kind of their whole school. The school that Annie chose to go to is, I understand, is kind of based around economics, and it was like a 13-page paper that she ended up writing, and I actually helped her out with like that she had to do an abstract in English, so I helped her out with that. But yeah, so that's what we're doing, and then we're gonna hang out with her friends after bowling still. So yeah, that's what's happening here today on day 8. So tomorrow I leave for Stockholm. We're gonna stay in Stockholm overnight so that the next day I can get on my plane to go down to Hamburg. and eventually to Wittenberg to visit Clemens. So that's what's happening. Good to see you guys. See ya.